Hey, Anton, when all the NIL stuff came up, people said it's going to cause chemistry issues. The quarterback's going to get a lot of money, offensive line's not going to get very much. Everybody's going to get upset. How have you seen that play out? Has it become a factor? How much of that do you guys talk about? How's that all play out?
Well, it hasn't really been a factor for us because for me personally, when it first came out, I wasn't really focused on that. I was more focused on the season. So I was going to focus on that after the season, but last season as an O-line, we mostly did everything together. So we was finding deals for the whole O-line. So it really didn't play a factor into causing bad chemistry.
You guys sort of have long lived with the fact that the quarterback gets all the glory.
Yeah, it is what it is, pretty much. So yeah, that's how it is.
Anton, talk about this spring for you guys because you did lose some guys from last year. So how's it coming together in the offensive line?
I feel like it's coming pretty good. Obviously we have players that needed to step up as leaders, as in myself and other players on the O-line to lead the offense. So I feel like it's getting pretty good. It's still areas we need to grow in, but all in all, we're growing every day.
You played quite a bit of football already. Has that been a big benefit for you with the new staff coming in, even though your offensive line coach is the same?
Yeah, I feel like since I did play some past few years, I had to be one of the ones to step up even more over everybody else because I needed to lead because I did have the experience on the field. So yeah, that was a big part in me personally to step up and lead.
What is the biggest thing for you just as far as this spring? Is it finding consistency each down?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, I guess, frustrating or not even frustrating, but you get sick of hearing people tell you need to be more consistent?
Yeah, that was one of the big things that I had to work on was consistency and just being confident in myself every time, every play, every down, playing 100% effort, and just leading. So yeah.
How big has just been Schmidt and what he did, just with not just you personally, but the entire OL group, just maybe even a focus on getting stronger up front?
It's been pretty big. He's been great getting us stronger, but also our mindset and the stuff that's not physical. He's been big on us being more together. So after lifts, we go with him and just do stuff as a unit, more unit stuff and less individual stuff.
Is that eye-opening?
Yeah, it was something that I feel like we always needed to do, but it's just what we need to do more. It's just something that we never really was big on.
Sure.
But I feel like it's changing now, and the culture is changing where our unit is being more together and more focused and on point.
How big has Dylan Gabriel accepted that leadership role in that locker room? And go ahead.
Go ahead.
And for a second question, just the dynamic as a tackle and a left-handed quarterback.
He's big since day one. He's been here. His attitude, he connected with everybody day one, on and off the field. He's a great guy. About him being a lefty, I feel like it helps me more because he can see that way. But nothing else really changes. But he's a great leader on the field with how we move on the field, our tempo. He leads us, so he gets us going. So yeah, he's a great leader.
Usually blocking and protecting the quarterback's backside. Now it's kind of the other side. Does it change? Is it? What's your mindset about that? Is that any big deal to you?
No, because really, my mindset is to dominate every play.
Right.
So it really shouldn't change. But I feel like it kind of does make the job easier. But it's still the same mindset every play.
We hear so much about the tempo of this offense. You just mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
How does that affect things for you?
It affects everybody. It's a whole different thing. We're moving fast. Every play, get to the line, we gotta move. So, for one, you gotta be in shape. So I feel like I'm pretty in shape. So it didn't really affect, but as a unit, getting everybody together, moving the same tempo, on the same page with the calls and everything, it's a work in progress, but we're getting there.
You got on the field as a very young player. If you yourself now could turn around and give advice to that young Anton, what would you tell yourself when you got on the field as a young player?
One big thing I needed was to get in the weight room way more, focus on that, and then just a better mindset as a youngin coming in here, playing young, always tried to give myself leeway, like, oh, you get it next time, things like that. But I feel like I should have been harder on myself. So, like, now, have the mindset I have now have back then.
And Tom, Coach Venables, I'm sure you had a picture of what it might be like with him here, but is there anything that this spring has surprised you about him and operating under him?
I feel like Coach Venables, every time he talks, he brings the best out of you. Like, it's just it's like his tone, everything about him, his demeanor, his mindset, it just makes you want to go harder for your team, for him, for yourself. So I feel like I'm glad that he's coaching me, because I feel like that's something I need. But I wouldn't say it was something I expected, because I didn't really know him. But I feel like it's good for me.
What's it like having that? Like when you're in that moment, you feel it washing over you. What is it like having that?
It's great. I feel like he's growing. He's helping me grow into a better player, person on and off the field. Helping me with, I guess, starting to lead the O-line. So he's helped me. Watching him, I see things he do, and I like take that stuff like that into what I do with the unit. So yeah, it's just great watching him and learning from him.
You mentioned being in the weight room more, working on consistency. I mean, with the new coaching staff, is that kind of like a reset for you? Does that kind of motivate you even more to develop better habits and stuff like that?
Not really. It was just something within myself that I needed to like get down. That something I needed to do to better myself. So it wasn't really the coaching staff, but I feel like with Smitty, he's helping me a lot with that, with growing myself better on and off the field.
Phil Lloyd-Holt and Ryan Young, just a couple guys that are on the staff now that have some O-line experience. Just curious if they've been able to kind of help you out at all.
Yeah, Phil, I actually talk to him almost every day, like outside of practice, with like school, football, just life. Like he's somebody that I can hang out with outside of football, like just kick it with one day, watch football, just talk about life. And Ryan Young, he's more on our soul mission side. So I mainly talk to him more about like just life things and life situations. But both of them been pretty big since they've been here.
Your room is a pretty good mixture of youth and experience. Talk about your room a little bit at the tackle position, because it's you've got some quality talent there.
Yeah, I want to say I think I'm the only tackle with experience here in our unit. So like it's a real good unit. It's a great unit, but it's just like every day we need to grow with the new playbook, with just the tempo. It's just everybody staying together, being consistent. Cause like it's not gonna be perfect, but we want to be close to perfect. So it's just being consistent every day, growing every day, and getting better.
You mostly played with, or I guess, the young quarterback, Spencer Young, and then obviously Caleb a lot last year. With Dylan coming in here, he's a veteran type guy. Is there a pretty big difference that you've noticed between playing kind of like with a younger quarterback that hasn't played a lot of college games and Dylan, who's seen a lot of snaps out there?
I wouldn't say that. I would just say because Dylan knows the playbook better than everybody. So this was his offense. So I feel like he helps us a lot. We meet with him. We talk to him about the playbook on the field with the tempo. He sometimes even called out the block for us. So like, cause he knows it so well. So it's just been great having him back there, quarterback, because he just like, pretty much help us and teach us.
Bill had to learn a different offensive coordinator after working with Coach Riley. Has Coach Beatonball's style of coaching changed any at all with the coordinator change, or is it the same as you saw last year?
No, it's the same. It hasn't changed, but obviously, like the terminology, like sometimes that like collides or whatever, but it hasn't changed at all. He's still the same guy I committed to. He's still a great coach. He still pushes us every day, expects the best out of us, and wants to get the best out of us.
What did it mean for you when you knew Bill was staying?
It was big. I felt like that him staying really showed how much he cared about us and how much he cared about Oklahoma. So that drove me, like, him staying drives me more every day to do my best and grow to the player that I know I can be.
We gotta let Anton go. He's got class.
Thanks,
All right, thanks, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, man.